Could you explain how God can be three persons in one identity? That is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And with full honesty, I'm gonna try to explain that, but all the description I'm gonna use, always the words will be short to describe its fullness. Okay, all these examples that people sometimes use, none of it will work 100% because you're trying to explain something unlimited, infinite, with finite words. It won't work. Yeah. So I'm gonna use an example that I find most theologians agree on, that's the closest, but it's not the full explanation. Because again, words and description short to really describe Trinity. Now, we have to agree first on very, very important aspect. We don't have three. There is no 1, 2, 3. We don't have that in the Old Testament or in the New Testament. We call him the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And that's really important for me to use that same language. We don't see Trinity. We don't see three. This term was used in the early church so they can explain a bit what's happening with the Trinity, what we call a Trinity, but there's no Trinity. Okay, so I want to use the original language that the Bible used. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, let's take math. You're good at math?
No.
No, okay. Just focus on me for a few minutes here. In math, we have infinity. You know that infinity thing? Okay. How many infinity we have? Like, do we have many infinities? We have 6 infinities, or it's only one infinity?
Just one.
In math, we just have one infinity. Like, let's say number 2. It's number 2, it's one kind of number 2. We don't have many kinds of number 2. It's only 2, right? Infinity is 1, so it's single. Is that correct? Okay. That's unity, which is one infinity, we said. Is it single or complex? Meaning that infinity has only one number in it, or it has many numbers in it. Complex has many numbers. Infinity consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,000, hundreds, 2, blah, 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 blah. All the numbers in that kind of one infinity. Follow me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one, and it is comprehensive, what we call. It includes all the numbers in the infinity. Take that infinity and divide it by any number. Infinity divide that by 3. What is it gonna give you?
Still infinity.
Infinity times 3.
Still infinity.
Infinity times 6.
Same thing.
Infinity divides by any number, multiplies by any number, it's infinity. Infinity divides by anything or multiplies by anything, or it's infinity. Infinity cannot be divided on any number because it's gonna give you still infinity. That's what I try to describe the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. One, single, comprehensive, and cannot be divided or separated. You follow that? It cannot be divided or separated. It's comprehensive. And we see from the very beginning in the Old Testament, and definitely in the New Testament, I want to read you some verses, it shows the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and some verses only the Father and the Son, and it shows that kind of unity. They are one, but they have diversity. And that's the beauty of it. So the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, they are one, but diverse, without separation. We agreed on that, correct? So let's see some verses on that. From the very beginning, Genesis 1:1, the very first verse in the very first book. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the Hebrew language, God created. Created is a single verb or plural verb?
Say plural.
Single.
Single?
Created is a single verb. But God, here in the Hebrew text, in the original, we see it here, God in English, single, which makes sense. Single, single. God created, single, single. But God in the original text is plural. Elohim.
Elohim.
So we see from the very, very, very first verse in the first book, God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit created. Oh, that doesn't make sense. That's plural. Then that verb shouldn't be like in that position. But no, because it's one. So yes, they are diverse, but there's unity. They are one. One, comprehensive, no division among them. Okay? Second one, we see it in Genesis as well, chapter 1, but verse 26. read, then God said, let us make human beings in our image. In the original language, or especially like, for example, being from Egypt and we have the Arabic, we see it as what we call it the noon. And that used for exaltation. But we have a big problem. In Hebrew language, they don't have that kind of exaltation. Like in the Turkish language or the Arabic language, the language itself contains that kind of exaltation when he used that noon. But when he used it here in Hebrew, there is no exaltation. So he's talking about plural because they are plural and not to exalt yourself. Because in Hebrew, they don't have exaltation. Why? Because he's talking about the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Okay. If we go back to, for example, the New Testament in Matthew chapter 3, verse 16 and 17. After his baptism with John the Baptist, as Jesus came up out of the water, the heavens were opened and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and setting on him. We see the three. If we allow really ourselves to use this term, which I don't like to use it much, the three. But we see the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit all in one scene. And the people saw it. So there is unity, but there is diversity. We cannot neglect that fact. Okay, we see that the same in Matthew 17, verse 5. But even as he spoke, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my dearly loved Son in the Mount of Transfiguration, who brings me great joy. Listen to him." We see the Father and Jesus. And in Mark chapter 14, verse 61 and 62, I'm trying to read you many verses so we can see that kind of diversity, but they are one. Mark 14, verse 61 and 62. But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. Again, the high priest asked him, "Are you the Messiah?" Listen to this. "The Son of the Blessed One." "I am," said Jesus. "And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the cloud." Blessed One, Son of God, and the Son of Man. Isaiah, which is very wonderful to me to see this in the Old Testament, especially in Isaiah. Chapter 48, verse 16. "Come closer and listen to this. From the beginning I have told you plainly what would happen. And now the sovereign Lord and his Spirit have sent me with this challenge, with this message. The Father, the Spirit, and Jesus." That's a prophecy, basically. And I would maybe end with this, Ephesians 2, verse 18. "Now all of us can come to the Father through the same Holy Spirit because of what Christ has done for us." So we see the Father and the Spirit and Christ. So and I can go on and on and on. Many verses from the Old Testament and the New Testament, it shows the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit cannot be divided. They are all in one unity, complex, comprehensive, not separated. And by the way, they have fellowship between them. For that silly thought that sometimes I hear, oh, God was really bored doing nothing in heaven, so he decided to create some human beings to enjoy them. In some aspect, true, God really loved his creation, and part of it definitely the human beings that they were created on his image, and he wanted and intended to have that kind of relationship with human beings. But from the very beginning, that fellowship was among them, between them, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because if we say, and this is really theology here, I don't want to go deeper in that, but at least an aspect of it, if we say that God was bored and he was lacking that and he wanted to extend this to the human beings, that's wrong, because kind of we're saying that he was lacking something on his absolute characteristics. And that cannot be God by definition, because he's an absolute of everything. His love is absolute. So they had that kind of fellowship, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, since like eternally, basically. And when he created the human beings, he wanted to extend that kind of love to human beings. But since the beginning, they are one, Father and Son and the Holy Spirit. They are in unity. They are one. We're not worshiping three. There's a big confusion in that. They are one. So whoever going to listen to this, they are one. There's unity, comprehensive, no separation and no division among them. Exactly, you can, though as I said, the full explanation of, I can explain that, but it's the most close example that I can use, which is the infinity in math. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.